Good morning, everybody. This is Melisha with Love for Life Wellness. I am so excited. It's almost the end of June, and can you believe the 4th of July is going to be next week? And it's a holiday for some, and some of us that haven't been working. It's just a regular weekend, but it's a great time to spend with your family and friends and being safe and enjoying life. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Melisha Bailey. I am a certified nutritional holistic health coach. And my desire, and I work with women all across the country from New York to California. And I've got people that I've worked with in the UK and in Canada as well, helping them to create the life that they desire in health and wellness. So if anybody knows what I do, I'm going to make sure everything is all connected before we get started. This is a good time to invite your family and friends and get them to come on. No, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. Get your family and friends to come on so that we can start. Okay, I'm going to start a watch party there. And I think I finally started getting this right, I think. Okay, that's great. We got the watch party going there, and I think I've got everything hooked up. I'm going to share this to my other page. But this morning, we have health coach Linda Wilson that's all the way from Australia. And we're just so excited to have her with us. I got one more place I need to make sure I get this shared with. But let me see. Where am I at? Okay. It's been a busy week, you guys. I've got a lot of things going on, and things are just moving very quickly, and I'm so excited. So let me tell you a little bit about me. For those that don't know me, I came from a place of sickness. I was sick for many years with my health, with fibromyalgia, diabetes, degenerative disc disease in my back, and basically I was able to take care of my health by changing my diet. And so now I'm on a quest to help as many women, as many people as I can that are suffering in their bodies to get well. Food is medicine, and I believe that, and we can get well. I've got Amanda on today. Thank you, Amanda, for joining, and I got my cousin, Past Bishop Michael Burrett, on this morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. And so what I do is I do these sister-to-sister broadcasts because I wanted people to hear other wellness professionals and health coaches share their expertise and information about how to help us to live our best and healthy life. So I am honored to be amongst people that are on a quest and health practitioners to help us to get healthy. In this time of COVID and with all the diseases that are going around, we need our health is more important than ever. And so this is what I do. I have groups I share. I have a private Facebook group that's just for women. It's called Love for Life, and I'll put the link there if you want to join that. I would love for you to join it. It's just all for women about health and wellness. And then I have my pages as well too. So I think we're going to get started. And so I am just so excited. Let me see, one more thing. For my YouTube channel at Melisha Bailey. I'm trying to grow my YouTube audience. And so I would love for people to join my YouTube channel. Any of these broadcasts, any of these sister broadcasts, or any webinars or things I do, you can find them on my YouTube channel. And that's Melisha Bailey. I think I'm done. And so without further ado, I have Miss Linda Wilson, and she is from Australia, near Melbourne, and she is a health and fitness coach, and she loves to talk about helping people to travel healthy. So thank you, Linda, for being with us today, and I'm so excited for you to be here. Just introduce yourself to the Love for Life and Sister to Sister group and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Monica. Thank you so much for having me on. This is quite exciting, isn't it? What an amazing woman you are with everything you've got going on. But thank you so much for having me. It's a real honour and a pleasure and privilege to be asked to join you. So I'm really happy about that. So look, my name's Linda Wilson, and yes, I'm from a town called Geelong, which is near Melbourne, which most people will know. We're about an hour's drive from Melbourne. And yes, I'm a health and fitness coach. And in more recent time, I've become really motivated and inspired to help women in particular travel with confidence. And I guess my story, I don't feel that my story is anything amazing or super duper fantastic, but I guess I grew up on a farm, so we ate fairly well, fairly healthily, but there was a lot of sweet stuff in amongst all that lovely farm food. So there was the cakes, the desserts, the pavlovas, all that sort of thing. And so I just grew up normally. I played tennis and table tennis as a teenager, young adult. I was never, ever a gym goer. It was not my thing. When we got married, had children, I might have had those 3-month memberships, but they always went by the wayside. I didn't really get my value out of them. And life continues on as normal. And then around my early 40s, mid 40s, I sort of noticed that maybe I was pushing the boundaries to the next size in a pair of pants. I had this favourite shop that I would go to buy my clothes for work. And I noticed I was going up to the next size. And I thought, that's interesting. And then when that size maybe started to get a bit firm, I thought, right, that's it. I'm doing something about this. So I went and had a coffee and probably a piece of carrot cake and just marched straight into a women's only gym here in Geelong. And I didn't even really ask how much it cost. I just said I want to sign up. I'm not sure whether you guys are familiar with the name Fernwood, but back all those years ago, Fernwood was one of the first gyms that started in Australia that was for women only. So I went in there and that began my fitness journey and my love of going to the gym. So, from there I learned a bit more about eating a bit better, improving that nutritional value. I got into doing weights, that sort of thing. I started doing group training. I then join boot camps. I then got into running. And so, this is in my mid-40s. So my first fun run was a 10K. And then they gradually got a little bit longer until I did, a few half marathons. But I was never, ever going to run a marathon, right? Because that's just ridiculous. That's just too long. But then, I don't know, something happened one day and I came home and I said, I think I want to run a marathon. So I did. So I was 52 when I ran that marathon, and it was an absolutely, totally awesome experience and something that I will really always remember. And I was going to do another one, but I got an injury right before the event, so I couldn't do that. So time has just prevented me, or, work really sort of prevented me from doing another one because it's a fair bit of training. But, along that way, I learned a lot about nutrition. Then, I'd been in my job for about 21 years in the same workplace, and I think I just got to the point where I thought, I think I'm done with this. I don't want to play anymore. So I thought, I'll become a personal trainer. So when I left my job, I became a personal trainer, and then I've also done a nutrition coaching course. And I guess I really do love talking about food. And as you say, Melissa, food is medicine. And we don't need to make it complex. We just need to keep it simple. And I guess that's what I'm all about, simple, sustainable habits, encouraging and helping and supporting women to make healthier choices and to also maintain some fitness. So for me, I think it's very important for women in that late 40s, 50s, 60s plus age group. It's very important for them to be shifting some weights. They don't have to be, we don't have to end up like Arnie, but it's important to lift some weights to build our strength and maintain our muscle mass, and then also, assist that with some healthy eating and making some healthier choices. So I help women in midlife and beyond to improve their health and fitness and travel with confidence.
And travel. But you know what, Linda, it just seems like, that's kind of the demographic of women that I work with. Women, I'm in my 50s. And so a lot of the women I work with, they're between 40 to 65. And, a lot of us have let our health go. We took care of our kids, or we were, we did our church stuff, or we took care of everybody else but us. And then we looked up and we were sick and we were having health issues. And so, so that is where the women I want to work with, like me, that, help us to turn around our health and then help us to help our kids and grandkids so they don't have the
Yeah.
same issues that we have. And so us women, we're getting stronger, we're living longer, and we want to do it in good health. And so I appreciate your wanting to work with women because we need it. And so, and a lot, and then we don't, a lot of the doctors are male doctors and they don't understand
Yeah.
what we're going through. And so women need other women to help through the process. So
Yeah.
how did you get involved with traveling? Go
Well,
ahead.
see, just before I say that, can I just say too that I've one of the reasons why I went to a female-only gym was because I too I was intimidated by going to a mixed gym. So that is, I guess, for me, what got me motivated enough to go and even walk into that gym doors, because it was for females only. So you just feel more comfortable. So yeah, I acknowledge it can be very intimidating, and even, even for some young women as well. But so that's why I like to just work with women particularly, because I've been there. I understand how it feels to be intimidated. With the travel thing, well, for ourselves, we have travelled and seen a fair bit of our own country, seen a fair bit of Australia, because as I'm sure you know, Australia is quite, wide and quite high. So there's a fair bit of land there to cover. So we have seen a bit. But as far as overseas travels goes, we're late bloomers to that. We didn't go overseas at all as young people, as a young married couple or anything. We didn't do that. So we only started going overseas in 2013. So that's only like 7 years ago. However, we have seen a fair bit in that short space of time. But yes, we're late bloomers. And I guess some people sort of say to us, oh, you've got the travel bug. But I prefer to think of it as, well, no, it's our time. Like you say, we've cared for our children. They're all adults now. We even have one grandchild now and one on the way. So, yeah, we've sort of, I guess, done our little bit, and now it's time for us. So, yeah, I travel with my husband, and we try and go overseas every couple of years, although we have gone over a little bit more frequently in recent time. But we also were fortunate enough to travel with our friends last year over to Russia, and that was like a different experience again, traveling with your friends. It was a great time. We had a lovely time together. But yeah, so we just really, really enjoy it. We love experiencing the cultures. We love getting out there and experiencing the landscape of other countries, but importantly the cultures and their food as well. I mean, travel's to be enjoyed. You don't worry about dieting per se when you're on travel. You've really got to embrace their culture and food, and we just go with the flow. You never know what's going to happen when you're traveling. So I think you've just got to go with a pretty flexible mindset, and just embrace everything as it comes along. And sometimes there'll be hiccups. Well, that's the way it is. But yeah, so we really love it. And
Okay.
we still got a lot of things on our little checklist to do, but unfortunately, I think Mr. COVID's going to interfere with that schedule. But never mind.
Okay. Well, let me acknowledge a couple of people that are on today. I'm excited. I've got Kim Hannah on. She's from Cleveland. I've got Edith Dunn and evangelist Edith Dunn, minister Edith Dunn, prophetess Edith Dunn, and she has a travel agency. And so, she works with helping people to travel. And I've got Gregory Hill Sr. He is an old friend from Cincinnati. I've got Muriel Bray in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Becky Carroll from Springfield, Alicia Harris, Barbara Norfolk, Vicky Cross. So we've got a pretty good audience today. But I travel a lot. I really do. And, and I love traveling, and I love going on my cruises, and we go to all inclusive. And so as I'm getting ready to travel, let's talk about getting ready to travel. Before you travel, what are some of the things that a person that wants to stay fit and healthy, what do you need to do, or what do you suggest, or talk about what you need to do before you travel?
All right. So I guess it depends on how much time you've got before you travel. If it's something that you've just planned really quickly, obviously you've got a bit of less time. But if you know that you're traveling, a good 6, 8, 10 weeks out, then you've got a lot longer time to prepare. Now, sometimes, I mean, everybody's goals are different, but sometimes that might look like even just losing some weight before you go away, or it might just mean you want to get healthier on the inside. So you might want to tidy up your eating. So that I don't think we all have a goal to put on weight when we're away, but it's usually for some people an inevitable consequence just because of the fact that we're away and we are enjoying that food. But I can give you some tips about that a bit later. So for me, I like to tidy up my eating so that I'm feeling good on the inside. So I don't like to use the term clean eating, but I guess I start to get rid of a lot of the junk out of my diet if I've been having any. So I would start just getting back to basics, having real food, making sure we're nourishing our body, getting plenty of vegetables into us. I am a big fan of veggies. And I suppose if you don't like veggies, then I guess my message is to try and encourage you to like them because they're so full of nutrients and vitamins and nourishment for our body. So I like to jam pack my plate filled with veggies, get that protein in, get those good fats in because, as we're older in our late 40s, 50s, and that good fat is so, so important to us, particularly for our brain. Just getting back to that simple way of just eating real food. JERF. Are you familiar with the JERF term over there in America? JERF? JERF. So it's JERF, which stands for Just Eat Real Food.
Oh, that's my motto. I need to clone that. Just eat real food.
I think it's been cloned. I think it's been cloned by somebody else, but hey, we can borrow it.
That's my motto. Just eat real food. I post a lot of times. I do hashtags eat real food because. And another thing, when you said that, I was thinking about like when you travel, sometime if you get your bodies healthy before you travel, because sometimes our immunity can go down when we're traveling. We're in airplanes or we're around other people's germs, and a lot of times when we travel, we come home sick because our immune system has been compromised as well. So that's a good thing, is to maybe lose some weight and to get our insides ready for travel.
And so, like, a big part of that then is that processed food and that packaged food. So when we're increasing our real food, the food that, has just been recently removed from the ground or plucked from a tree or, flown in the air, when we do that, then we've got less room for the processed packaged food. So I really encourage women to try and reduce that intake. And if you can, I would even try and cut it out for those, 6, 8 weeks, however long you've got before you travel, because it just makes such a huge impact to the way we feel. And if anybody's ever done a sugar detox challenge, a little mini challenge, even in 5 days, the difference that you can feel in just 5 days of eliminating added sugar. So I'm not talking about all sugar, because fruit is beautiful and, awesome for us. So we're just talking about the added sugar. So if you make a concerted effort to try and reduce that in your eating plan, then you'll just notice that you just have so much more energy, and that's just a big factor. So that is something that I encourage my clients to do, to reduce that processed food, but in particularly the sugar, the added sugar. So you'll notice that your energy levels raise when you do that. Drinking lots of water, getting our water. I think as women, we don't drink enough water. 2 litres, like 8 glasses a day is the recommendation. In summer, like for myself personally, in summer I can quite often get up to 3 litres a day really easily. And I think particularly when we're travelling, women have a fear that if they're going to be drinking too much, they're just going to be constantly running to the toilet. And I understand that, and I get where that's coming from, but you can train your body to get used to drinking that amount of water. And there are some specialists in that area that will also tell you that limiting your water intake actually doesn't help that bladder control and that urge to go to the toilet. So there's little techniques that you can do to help train yourself for that. But limiting water and restricting water doesn't necessarily ease that urge to go to the toilet. So because our body's like 60% water, so it's very important to get it in. And the same with, on the plane, but I guess we can come to that. Drinking water on the plane is so important. But my main tips for preparing for going away then, food-wise, increase your veggies, reduce that packaged food, the food that's high in sugar, the processed food. Try to avoid those aisles. Make sure you're getting good quality protein into you at every meal. And get those good fats in. We're not talking about just a little tiny little fingertip of fat, a good tablespoon of fat or even 2 tablespoons of fat at every meal, but the good ones, the olive oil, the coconut oil, the avocado. I love avocado. And a great way to I love smoothies. I mean, it's warmer weather over there with you guys, so smoothies are a great way of getting veggies. If you don't like them, get veggies. Yeah. Good job, Alicia.
What I do every day. So.
And of course,
and my water. I got my water.
Good. I put mine in a glass today.
Just a drinker.
Oh, hang on. There's my water bottle. Have we mentioned it's 3 a.m. in the morning over here?
It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Linda has graciously got up at 3 a.m. to do our sister, to be with a sister. So I appreciate you getting up at 3 a.m.
That's all right. This is fun.
That's why I normally wake up anyway. I can't sleep. My brain is racing, and unfortunately I have trouble. I go to sleep early and then I wake up early. So
that's a fair trade. So what else are we going to do? We're going to start moving more before we go away. So get yourself a little weekly workout plan. Figure out a workout plan to do. Now, a trainer can help you do that. But I encourage women to get at least 2 strength training sessions in a week where you're moving weights. If you can get 3 in, fantastic, but at least if you can get 2 in. And you do need to lift some weight, and you need to get, it doesn't need to be too heavy that you can't lift the darn thing, but you don't want it to be light that you're just doing this. Right. You need to feel moving so that you are encouraging that muscle growth, because you want to be able to carry your own bag.
Yeah.
So you don't want to always be having to depend on others to get your bag. There are some situations, like in some tours, if you go on tours, they will be very clearly put in the fine print. You must be able to climb stairs, walk along rough tracks, carry your own luggage. It's very important to build our strength. So particularly our leg strength, our shoulder strength. We want to lift that bag up onto the storage rack on the plane. We want to be able to carry that on and off the plane, up and down stairs. So build that arm strength, build that shoulder strength, build that leg strength. So, a couple of easier ways, I suppose, to do that are to start walking. Maybe get a little walking plan in where you're walking possibly every day, even if it's just for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be all in one block, depending on your time frame and what your day is like. You might do 10 minutes here, 10 there, 10 somewhere else. But at least 30 minutes of walking. Do some stairs, up and down some stairs. That's great, because when you're traveling, particularly on tours, we do a lot of walking. Yes. And I know for us, last year we ended up in Copenhagen. We walked from one end of Copenhagen to the other. I don't know, we did like 28K or something. And sure, you're tired at the end. Let's not kid ourselves. You get tired at the end of the day, but at least that you've got the fitness, the ability to be able to do that without saying, oh no, I can't go on. I've got to go back, or I've got to sit down for a few hours or whatever. You know that you can do it. And I suppose that's one thing too, why I got into helping women get ready for travel, is doing tours. We like small group tours. And I noticed that sometimes you would hear people say, oh, no, I'm not going today. I'm just too tired. No, I'm worn out from yesterday. No, I'm going to stay in my room today. Or no, I'm not staying up late. No, I'm not staying up late, and I don't want to socialise because, no, I'm just so tired. I want to go to bed. And I think, oh, that's such a shame, because You've saved up all this money to
Right.
do this holiday. You may never get back to that destination again. It might be the only time you get there. So I think, you want to see and do as much as you can. So if do all you can before you go, so that you're feeling totally awesome on the inside and you've built up your strength and you've boosted your energy levels, you've got a great chance then of being able to do everything that's put on your plate, so to speak, put on offer for you to do. Because, like, for example, for us here in Australia, we travel, I don't know, a 22-hour flight sometimes, or thereabouts, 23 hours to get somewhere. I don't want to go there and say, I'm going to sit in my room all day.
Right. I mean, why pay all that money if you're going to sit in your room? So
yeah, that's right. So, I want to see and do as much as I can. I don't need to be buzzing around like a bee in a bottle nonstop, but
right.
I want to be able, I don't want to decline stuff because, no, I just don't feel like it.
Well, when you were talking, I was even just thinking about walking through the airports. You know how they have
Yep.
those conveyor belts that you can walk through. A lot of times when I'm walking through the airport, I just walk because I know I'm
Yes.
going to get my steps in. It's going to make me stronger and more fitter, and it gives me more stamina to endure my travel. And so I like that part about drinking that water. We need that water because we get dehydrated going in
Yep.
the airports and or when we're outside in public or anything like that. But that walking is so important because if you can't hardly walk through the airport, then how are you going to do walking tours and things
Yep.
like that? So I never thought about it like that, but that is so important. And I never thought about really getting healthy before you travel. So if you are like me and you're planning these long vacations, like I've got a big trip coming up in October,
Okay.
fairly fit. I'm really fit, but I'm thinking I could even do more to get ready for my my Jamaica cruise. Well, not cruise, but my Jamaica vacation before. So getting ready so that you can have the best vacation ever. It's so important. And and these are just little everyday things. And I never thought about getting strength to be able to get your suitcase up and drag it through the airport. If you
Yeah.
can't fit to do that, then we've got
Yeah.
issues.
I mean, look, I'm willing to take help from people, but I guess I'd also like to be able to do it myself.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily this, totally 100% must do everything myself, but I like to know that I can do
Right.
it myself. And like that bottle that I showed you, this one here, that's a litre bottle, and this little bottle's travelled the world.
Yeah.
So
I've got it too. Yes.
I always take that on the plane with me. So obviously, when you're going through security, I take it on the plane empty. When I get through security, I'll fill it up the other side. Hopefully, there's a drinking station somewhere. If not, I will ask the hostesses and that on the plane to fill it up for me, and they, they gladly do that. So I always recommend taking your own bottle with you on the plane. The air hostesses, yeah, they fill it up for you. They've got no problem doing that. And, a cup, 250 ml of water is a really good goal to be drinking every hour on the plane because, we get really dry skin.
Yes.
And it's important to hydrate. And I know there's that temptation to perhaps, indulge in alcohol on the plane, which is an okay thing to do, but let's balance it out with the water because the alcohol dehydrates us as well. I must say I've never drunk alcohol on a plane. It's just, I don't know, just can't be bothered. So I just stay with the water, and I'll take some. I take my own tea bags sometimes as well because sometimes I'm not really a black leaf tea drinker. I prefer like herbal teas. So I'll just ask them for hot water and just use my own tea bags on the plane.
Well, Linda, I traveled. I went to Seattle to see my granddaughter a few weeks ago, and travel has changed a lot now
Yeah.
because they don't give you, I don't know about the longer flights, but they don't give you anything to drink. They give you a little bottle of water and snacks. And so they're
Okay.
not going through anymore. And I don't think even now you can hardly fill your water bottles up because of the infection for a disease. And so even
Okay.
travel has changed a lot in the eyes of, during these days of COVID. And so when you're traveling too, there's a safety thing that we've got to think about now, wearing our mask and, staying, taking our hand sanitizer. And that's another part of traveling with confidence and health.
Absolutely.
Sure that we are, healthy enough to travel and staying healthy during our travel, especially during the time of COVID. Do you have any tips or anything for us, that may want to start venturing out to travel now that, we can travel a little bit more, but traveling more with safety?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's sort of different all over the world. See, like for us here in Australia, unless it's like an emergency or business, there's no international travel for us at all. And I don't think there will be. We have a trip planned in October to go to Egypt. And I don't believe we'll be going. I think that will get cancelled or postponed. So for us, travel at the moment, it's really even limited between our states. We can travel within our own, where we live, we can travel within our own state, but of course that's drivable for us. So yeah, those same basic rules I would just continue to do for your own personal safety. So I think the social distancing is important. We are told, to stay that 1.5 metres away from each other. So, we're mindful of that, particularly when we go out shopping, that sort of thing. We went down to a little local seaside town a few weeks ago with our friends, and that was really lovely. But yeah, we just all maintained social distance. There were cafes and shops and that open, and we were able to, have a coffee and enjoy them. As you say, the hand sanitizer, of course, hand sanitizer should always be a staple in your bag when you travel anyway. Because you just never know, particularly, going to public toilets, that sort of thing. So, yeah, hand sanitizer should be standard, but definitely more so now. But don't forget too that even just that basics of, washing your hands with soap and water. I mean, the only thing with that sanitizer, it is so drying on our hands, isn't it? So pack the sanitizer and pack a really nice tube of hand cream because it's very drying. But I think just doing those, just eating healthy, that is also helping us with our immune system. Once again, before you leave, get that citrus fruit into you. I'm a big drinker of lemon in my water first thing in the morning when I get up.
Every morning.
We're all on the same page. Apple cider vinegar is good as well. But any of those citrus.
Apple cider vinegar, lemons, and I even put some cayenne pepper in there to help with my metabolism. And I pour hot water in it, and that's my morning drink every day. And it's good for your immune system. It's good for your metabolism, and then the vitamin C is good, and so it's all just good. And then you're to get your water in as well. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, half a litre, and there's, you've done a quarter of your day's intake right there and then as soon as you've got up. And so you maintain that habit when you're away as well. You may not have access to, depending on where you are, you may not have access to the lemons and everything, but get that water into you first thing. So there's some little supplements that I sometimes take with me when I'm traveling. I mean, I don't take a lot of supplements, but I didn't bring a packet in here with me, but do you have like greens powder over there?
Yeah, I share a product called Pure. And so a lot of times when I travel, I have my greens with me and I do a probiotic. And because sometimes your system can get kind of messed up when you're traveling. And I make sure I have, some multivitamin and possibly some vitamin C to keep my immune strong when I'm traveling. So greens are very good. And if you can get those in, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So the brand that I use out here is really good. It's got so many little greens ingredients in it, and that comes in sachet form now, which is perfect for traveling. So if I couldn't get a lemon, I would have that first thing in the morning, get up and mix up my greens drink before I went down for breakfast or whatever. So that is another way of just making sure you're getting those extra vitamins into you whilst you're traveling. So I'm a big believer in traveling with that. Olive leaf extract is also also something else that I like to take. I have that in my cupboard here all the time, but in a liquid form, in a bottle, because obviously liquid is absorbed more quickly into the body. And if I feel like I'm getting something, I'll slam down that olive leaf extract. But traveling, I would take it as a tablet form. Okay. And that just helps to keep your immune system bubbling along, and can help prevent get any of those bugs. And another thing that I took last time was powdered chicken broth.
Oh, like a bone broth.
Okay.
Yeah,
a bone broth. And there's a really lovely brand here that I can get online that's in Australia, and it's an organic brand, but I know you would have access to plenty of those over there as well. But the chicken bone broth, and that was really good. So that helps to keep all your stomach all lined and beautiful. So they were the three things that I took away with me last time. That they were my must-haves and my must-takes. But make sure too you also take a little first aid kit with you. When we went to Africa, that was really the first time that we consciously put together our doctor did put together a first aid kit that was quite comprehensive. And then when we went to Asia, before we left, we just thought, we'll just throw this first aid kit in the bag. And lo and behold, I had to use it. I actually got, for the very first time, I got like a little tummy bug. I can't think what it was in there now, but it was one of those, Gastro Ease powders, and it was just amazing. I could not believe how quickly it worked. So from here on in, I make sure I take something like that now, that there's something like that in our bag, because you just never know. Even though I like to think that I'm really healthy and I'm pretty good and watch what I'm doing, somehow I got this little bug. I still don't know where I got it or what I did to do it, but fortunately it only lasted for like a short time, maybe 12 hours or so. But I just got into the miso soup and that sort of thing, and that was good. But, very important to pack some sort of at least a basic first aid kit, no matter how far you're travelling, and make sure it's got some Gastro Ease in it.
I like that. I never do that. A lot of times when I travel, I take, we go on cruises a lot, and I take that. I hate it because I don't like it, but I take that Dramamine type of stuff so my stomach doesn't get queasy. But I like taking a first aid kit because you never know if you're going to get a sore and something wrong with your stomach, especially when you're traveling. So that is a great tip.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be big. Yeah, it doesn't have to be big, just a small little one.
Right.
It's got some basics in it.
And even bone broth these days. When I went to see my son, my son's girlfriend, she had the bone broth that you could put in your coffee. And I'm seeing now that they have the little packets. And so you can travel with packets now. And so I go through the airport and I have my bag of my greens. But what I do when I travel, I put my protein powder, my chia seeds, my greens. I put it all in one container. And so I can just easily. And so now I put it in like a plastic thing because when I went through through security, they was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Well, that's my protein stuff,
Don't touch my protein.
Yeah, I'm like, don't mess with this. I put it in a container. But so making sure you have your stuff with you and your supplements that are good. The pure products I use that I share with my clients, it's got an immune system. And so getting your it's got immune health in there. And I think it's got the vitamin C and all that stuff in it. But the olive leaf extract, I didn't know about that. So that is something. But I've been known to carry like a little bottle of this olive oil with me because I put that with me because you can get on the airplane with that. And so a lot of times, most restaurants, they used to have cut lemons. I don't know anymore with COVID, but so a lot of times you can get your lemons with your hot water now, and then the olive leaf extract. I'm going to look for that because my friend, when I go visit him or anybody that go visit, they know have my apple cider vinegar, have my lemons, have my olive oil, and we are good. Have my stuff for my smoothies, and I'm good to go. So,
have you ever tried chia seeds in water?
Oh yeah. I have the pure products I sell. We have the most wonderful, beautiful chia seeds, and they're ground real fine, And so one of my friends, she makes a chia pudding. I don't do the
Yeah.
chia pudding; it's a little more too sweet for me. But
Yeah.
you could do all kind of things with chia seeds. And so, what do you do with the chia seeds?
Oh yeah, look, I mainly add them to my smoothies and that sort of thing.
Yes,
The same
yes,
thing.
yes.
I don't mind those chia bowls.
It's
Exhibit A.
really
It's 3 a.m. here, mate. No, it's a bit later now. I'm not ready for my chia seeds.
Well, I'm just saying, I have my chia seeds, and then I have spinach. I've got fruit, a little, and I've got my protein powders. My pure stuff is all in here. So if
Yeah,
anybody, I need to share more about my pure products. But anybody, I like the pure because it's a nutraceutical. It's all natural. A lot of the products are vegan,
yeah,
and they're tested, and they don't have any fillers or additives. It's some of the cleanest products that you can get your hands on, and I use it every day, and it's something I share with my clients, and I don't share it enough. And Abby Lane, if she's listening, I'm going to start sharing it more because it's been a life changer for me.
yeah,
But yeah, and bone broth, I've been using more bone broth for gut health because I'm really working with gut. So a
yeah.
lot of times when you travel, you can have problems with your gut, don't you think
That's right.
so?
So if you take that with you, one little tip that I learned just recently is even just adding maybe a teaspoon of chia seeds just to plain water, just by itself, and then that helps you to absorb the water better. So
Really?
that can be a good tip for traveling on the plane. Take some chia seeds with you on the plane and
Okay.
just mix it in with your water and just drink it so that it's absorbed better.
So when you do that, I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
It gets more into the cells of your body more with the chia seeds. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, and the water's just absorbed better.
Or water is absorbed better.
Yeah.
I've heard that, and I'm going to
Yeah.
start doing that. I have a naturopath that I work with, or she works in my office, and she told me I need to drink about 120 ounces of water, and that's a lot of water. That's a lot of PM. But I've been doing really good with it, you know. But I think, and so what I do is I have a big jug, and
Yeah.
it's like 40 ounces. And so I know if I can get 3 of those down, that's 120 ounces. But one
Yeah.
of the things I do, and this was a tip from one of my clients, I put it in a small thing like
Yeah.
this. This is 16 ounces. So I'm able to drink all of
Yeah.
this down in one swoop. And it really has helped me to get my water in. And so what I'm going to
Yeah.
do when we get here, I'm going to put some chia seeds, my pure Mila.
Yeah.
Ask me about my
See what
Mila.
it's like.
I'm going to put the Mila in here, my chia seeds, and then get some of that water down.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great tip. Thank you.
So, and one other thing too that perhaps some ladies might think it's too late for them to be doing this because of their age, but is their pelvic floor exercises. So this is a special one for us ladies. Now, I'm not demonstrating today. It's very hard to demonstrate, but start to get familiar with your pelvic floor, and it's never too late to do those exercises. So I would start doing some of those, consciously working on that area as well before you travel, because there's a lot of ladies that get a bit concerned about if they're doing bus travel or something like that, and they get worried about when they can stop or how long the next stop is going to be. So, if you can strengthen up that pelvic floor, if you're concerned about who to see, or if you feel you need to see somebody, I mean, a personal trainer can help you to a point. But if you've got greater concerns, then go and see a medical practitioner. But there are specialists in that area now that can help and guide you and give you specific, more specific exercises. But even just when we're engaging our core, when we're exercise and we, tighten those muscles in that pelvic floor area, that's all helping. Because how many times do you go to a class and, people avoid the star jumps for, an obvious reason. But yeah, pelvic floor, don't be afraid to work on that as well before you travel, but also just as part of your everyday routine. And then I guess finally, for me, it's also all about balance. So, I don't want to go away on holiday and it's not my goal to put on 5-10 kilos, but it is my goal to enjoy myself. But I'm not necessarily going to eat, particularly on cruises. They are, whether it's an ocean cruise or a river cruise, it's just food city, isn't it, in those buffets? And so you really have to go with a plan, I think. And just because it's there on the buffet doesn't mean to say that we have to eat it all. I mean, there's still going to be food tomorrow. You know, we're not going to miss out. We're not going to run out of food. So particularly when it comes to dessert, because I do have a bit of a sweet tooth, and that would be probably my weakness. So I have a little bit of a rule that I'm not really going to have dessert unless it just looks amazing and it's something that I really, really want to try, or it's something that's unique to that culture and I want to try it. That's important to do that. You wouldn't say no for starters because you might offend, but for that you want to try and see what it is that other people enjoy and eat. But if it's on those cruises, I'm not going to eat every dessert that's put out there unless I think, oh wow, that looks awesome. Yeah, I really want to eat that. So just thinking about and thinking about those portion sizes. Do we have to go back for that double serve? Do we have to pile our plate with food? Yes, embrace the food, enjoy it, but just think about those portion sizes, and maybe if you're going to have a second helping, choose a second helping of the veggies.
That's probably what I start with, because to me that makes you fuller. Let me before we go. We have quite a few people on today. Does anybody have any questions before we go? I've got a couple more things I want to discuss with Linda. But
Okay.
if you got your questions, please give us some questions. She gave us a load of information, so much good information to help us travel. And as much as I travel, it is helping me a lot too.
Oh, that's great.
I like to go with a plan. Like I said, I have a client, she's getting ready to travel, and that's what I did this week. We got a plan for her to travel, what she was going to talk about, what she's going to eat on when she travels, and not eating snacks and taking food on the airplane, and what kind of snacks she was going to take, and what we're going to do for breakfast and things like that. So for me, a lot of times when I travel, I try to start with my salads and veggies first, because that makes me full. And then if I want to eat whatever, I'll eat it. And a lot of times I'll save my dessert for dinner. And so instead of eating dessert all day,
that's right. Yeah,
I might have dessert with dinner, skip the bread, and things like that. But I feel like if I start with veggies and have my water first, then I feel like I can eat what I want, but I don't have to I won't eat as much. And then I'll still feel full and satisfied. And then you don't get all those cravings. If you don't have all those carbohydrates, then you don't feel like you not want to eat all day. Yeah, you can eat all day, but you don't have to. You don't feel like
That's right. That's right. And then, when you are not eating as many as you say, the breads and the pastas and the sweets and all that, you're actually feeling better because your energy starts to drop off. And, if you're starting to do that right from day one, then by the end of your trip, you're going to feel more.
You're going to feel awesome, awful. You're going to feel awful, awful, awful. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, as you know, you've touched on a few. We've just touched sort of the tip of the iceberg today. There's so many little things little tweaks that you can do, isn't there? That you've mentioned, that we've both talked about, and probably other things too. But anyway, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
They're just all little simple things.
A lot of people that I'm looking at, they travel a lot. A lot of them are traveling for church stuff or family events. And with the summertime, we're traveling more, hopefully. And, because especially now we've been in the house with COVID here in the United States. Yeah. And so we're trying to venture out, but unfortunately the COVID-19 is spreading more here. And so we've got to be even more careful with our travel and things like that. Yeah. So I'm praying that we'll be able to get out and enjoy the summer, get to our beaches and go see our family, our family reunions and things like that. But a lot of those things are on hold right now because of here in the United States, the spread of COVID. But, if you want to just travel and maybe rent a cabin with your family and enjoy family time, that's a good way to travel and not have to be in big crowds.
Exactly.
And get in the car, go to a hotel and maybe sit by the pool or go to the beach, so there's a lot of great ways to travel here in the summertime where you can still be socially distanced and enjoy being out and enjoying the summer. Yeah. And so, but there was a lot of things, but I like what you said, lose weight before if you can, and get healthy on the inside, lift some weight, get some good strength training in before, especially if you have 6 weeks or so that you know that you can plan. I know
Yeah.
for me, like when I was heavier, just getting on the airplane and trying to get my big self in the seat of the airplane is like, oh my God, and then you're trying to get the seatbelt over. It was embarrassing, and so, and I know that. And so if you're struggling with that, I've been there, I know that, and I
Yeah.
can help you with that. And so losing a few pounds before you get on that plane, just so you can feel like you can fit in the airplane, that's a
Yeah.
big thing too, Linda.
Well, that's a good motivator.
It is. It's a huge motivator. You know what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, so I love your tips. And so tell us a little bit about your business and what do you do, and if you've got your website. One of our listeners, she said, great tips. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
do
That's
you
great.
have what is so tell us a little bit about your website or the people that you serve, and I will post your the link. If anybody wants to get in touch with Linda, please feel free to. And we're all in this together. We're all helping people. So she's
Yeah,
here,
we are.
I'm here, and we just want to be of service to our people. So tell us about your business and what you got going on.
Okay, so my business is embracing fitness, food, and life. So that's pretty clear what I do. I'm at the moment. I'm on Instagram. I'm absolutely really loving Instagram. So I'm on there. So it's that same handle, embracing fitness, food, life, and I'm on Facebook. And I have a web page, a website, all the same, embracing fitness, food, and life. And what else do I do? Oh, so I take. Although I'm a personal trainer, I love taking group sessions. But at the moment out here in Australia, that we've just opened back up again now with classes, so we have restrictions on that. So I'm really looking at doing more fitness online for people. So I can do that one-to-one online, or I can do group, whatever. But I do, I love training. I love training women. It's really great when somebody says, "Oh, look what I can do," or "Look what I can push." So or I can walk up those stairs without puffing. So it's really great. And I have 2 programs, like health and fitness coaching programs. One is a 10-week program. So that includes weekly coaching calls, and we cover everything in that. So right through helping you with your nutrition, your sleep, your exercise. We touch on a whole heap of things. We might even touch on a bit of pelvic floor, our hormones, all that. But I think a lot of women just get surprised, as you would know, Melisha, just how changing up what we eat has such a big impact on how we feel. And my other little program is a shorter one. It's a 21-day. At the moment, it's called Body Reset. So it's a little bit harder and faster. So it really is about cutting out, can I say, no, I'll just say cutting out the junk.
Say it loud.
So really cutting out that processed food. So as women, we can actually do a lot in 3 weeks. Like 10 days is enough, really. But if we give it that 3 weeks, there's a coaching call involved in that that you would have received with that as well. But there's a meal plan with that, or a meal plan guide, and some recipes. I don't believe in, shouldn't say I don't believe, I'm not a calorie counter, so I don't promote calorie counting. I actually personally can't stand it. So I don't ask my clients to do that. I don't ask them to weigh food. So we learn about how to build your plate with a little formula that's really easy for you to remember, teach you how to portion control with something that you carry around with you every day. So just these little tweaks. But yeah, calorie counting is not my thing. I just like to keep it simple. That's pretty much my motto. Keep it simple, and it's never too late to start.
It's never too late to start.
And age is just a number.
Age is just a number. I'm aging backwards. I call myself Benjamin Button. So I'm aging backwards. And so, I look at pictures of myself from even just 5 years ago, and I looked old and sick and ugly. And because I've changed the way I eat and how I exercise and drinking water, and actually my mindset, and I was listening to this thing today about how just changing your mind. You don't even have to change your diet. Just changing the way you think about
Yes.
yourself can change
Yep.
everything. And so,
Yep.
I'm just getting ready to plug something for that. I just started. I've got a couple things before we go. And I just paid for my new domain today, but I'm getting ready to start a whole new system. It's called Live, Eat, Transform, the Let
Oh,
Go system. And we are
wow.
going to let go. We're going to live our lives to our happiest and fullest. We're going to eat good, healthy foods, and we're going to transform our mind, body, spirit. We're going to let go of the past, move forward, and we're going to progress to, it's called Progressing Through the Journey. So I just secured that today. And then I'm going to start adding a CBD to my for my clients. And this is some of the cleanest, purest CBD. It's certificate of authenticity. It's got third party testing. It's not, you can't go to the grocery store and get this CBD. It's the vegan, gluten free, and it's going to help restore your body and your mind as we're learning to eat.
Yeah.
Live, eat, and transform. And so these are the new offerings that I'm going to be, I'm going to be flooding you with the system. And get ready, everybody, because God gave it to me. He woke me up at 4 a.m. He gave it to me, and I had to get up and write it down. And it's called the Let Go system, and I'm so excited about it. And
Wow.
and then with me adding the CBD, and so we're going to change and transform women's lives. And with you helping women, you've got a great plan. I love your passion. I love your what you want to do. And everyone I've talked to, we all got our thing, and so we've got some good things going on. And I'm so excited.
And just one quick reminder too, I do have a little free offer on my website, and it's the 10 tips to feel healthy and vibrant. But as I mentioned to you earlier, they're doing maintenance on my email provider website, so it can't be downloaded at the moment. So as soon as that's up, I'll pop that in, or I'll send the link to you. And
send the link to me, and I'll put it in the show notes here. And
great.
But Linda, this was a great show. I appreciate you getting up at 3 a.m. in Australia to join our show. Linda is also a part of the Love for Life, our sister group, and we're trying to grow this group. So if you know any women that are struggling in their health, that need some help, ask them to join the Love for Life group. This is a group that I share a lot of tips, a lot of coaching tips. I've got a lot of coaches in there that share things as well too. So please join that group. Join my YouTube channel, Malisha. I got too much going on. But you know what? It's all getting streamlined now with the Let Go system. It's all going to go into one. And so, and then I'm getting ready to start a 5-day healthy habit challenge. Just 5 days to change some habits and start things. So I like your 10 tips to feel healthy. So we all got things that we can do. She's got the 10 tips to feel healthy. We got the healthy habits. And vibrant. I'm sorry. Healthy and vibrant. For 10 tips to feel healthy and vibrant.
Yeah, that's it.
We want that vibrancy. We want to be shining. We want to glow. We want to vibrate from the inside out, don't we, Linda?
Malisha, you're amazing. This has been really great. It doesn't matter that it's 3 a.m. in the morning. I've really, really enjoyed this. So thank you so much for having me. And one listener got something out of it that's totally awesome. So thank you so much. It's been fantastic.
We had a lot of people that stayed on today. And so I appreciate Kim and my cousin Michael and Marlene and David and Edith and Gregory and Muriel and Becky, Alicia, Barbara, Vicky, and Amanda. So we have people. I don't know if they stayed on, but they got on and off. And so with the show being longer, I realize some people get on, but they always can come back and watch the show later or take 10-minute chunks at a time. But these are important shows, and I do them out of love for you to give you the tools that are going to help you. So these are tools that are going to help you to travel with confidence and travel fun and stay healthy so that you don't get sick, so that you have more energy, and so that your immune system is strong and you can enjoy your vacations and travel. So thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so very much. Linda, you stay on, don't leave, okay? Or we're going to end our show this week. Next week is 4th of July. We will not have a show next week, so enjoy your holiday. But I'll put on one of the most watched episodes that we have from our Sister to Sister Saturday. I will do a replay next week, but join us. Anytime you want to reach out to me, please just direct message me. I'm always available. Call me and or talk or reach out to Linda. We're here to help you. Appreciate everyone. Have a blessed and wonderful day. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.